good morning. I'm going to be making a small batch of granola just to have on hand in the kitchen, and I'm going to be showing you what I use. Okay, so I'm just making a small batch since I'm pretty much the only one that eats it, and I like to have this on hand just in case I want to switch it up for breakfast, put it on top of yogurt, or eat it as a snack. So I have about a handful of whole dried cranberries. You can chop it up. You can use the craisins, whatever you like. If you don't like cranberries, you can also use regular raisins or golden raisins or any other dried fruit. I have about a third of a cup of almonds that were whole. I roughly chopped them just so that it wouldn't be like a huge piece of almond. About a half a cup of rolled oats, about a quarter cup of pinoli nuts. Again, this is something that I like to keep in the freezer, and I like the taste. If you don't like it, you can increase the almonds, or you can add walnuts or something else that you like. And here at the end, this is puffed amaranth. I have a lot of puffed amaranth in the freezer that my mother-in-law gave to me from Mexico, and I am still working on going through it. I have so much of it, and I think I'm going to try and do some kind of pastry crust or pie crust to help me use it, because I have so much. But this is one way that I do incorporate it in some of my food. And in the back I have some dark maple syrup and ground cinnamon. So I've lined a sheet pan with some foil just because I do not like doing dishes. I'm going to add everything, the cranberries, almonds, oats, and then the pine nuts, as well as the amaranth. Amaranth really doesn't taste like anything, but it is super good for you. And then I'm going to add, I like a lot of cinnamon, so I use a lot. And then you can add a pinch of salt. I'm not going to this time, but I will be drizzling, okay, that was a lot, my maple syrup. And then basically toss this all together and make sure it's in a fairly even line. This isn't a lot, like I said. I just kind of make enough to have if I feel like it. And it will toast up in the oven. I'm going to have my oven preheated at 350. That is a temperature that I typically stick with. If you wanted to add to this like melted butter, you don't need a lot, but you could. I mean, it's kind of a personal thing. I'm not doing that because I do have nuts in here, so there's really no need. I'm going to rinse my hands off and put this in the oven until it gets toasted, fragrant. Once you start smelling like the almond, then I would definitely take it out. You don't want your nuts to burn. Okay, so I've just taken it out of the oven, and I'm gonna let it cool for a bit before I show you how I like to eat it. Okay, so this recipe will yield approximately 2 cups of granola. My favorite way to eat it is basically to get some plain yogurt and then fruit of any kind. I actually have some pomegranate from someone's backyard, which are really delicious right now. And then, you know what, I could actually, well, this is a small breakfast. This isn't like a full-on breakfast, but I'll save the rest for later. And then I use the granola as a topping, not really as the main part or main bulk of the meal. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on. I don't really, you know, that's why I don't make that much, because I don't eat that much at a time. And I don't have this every day. And then I'm just gonna drizzle a little extra maple syrup, not a whole lot. This is, I hope I don't spill it, but just like a drizzle. So this is how I like to eat it. You can eat it with milk, like cereal, do whatever you want. Towards the end of the baking, I did add a little bit of chopped, cubed cold butter. And what that did, it's basically, it helps it clump up together so you get the crispy pieces. But I don't do that all the time, just occasionally, because as you can see, I use it as a topping. I don't use it as like a cereal. But I'm gonna go eat this. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.